What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. Welcome to another episode of Dank's Daily Trade. You know how we do. We do the trades every single day, Monday to Friday, around 10:15, 10:30 UK time and so and whatnot. Really appreciative of everybody here. Thank you so much for actually coming on. So, as crypto, as we all know, it's fucking pumped as a motherfucker, right? Excuse my language there, but flipping out. It has actually quite been a massive strong rally. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about where the price is at. We'll talk about what dollar index is and ES, the lot itself. And we'll start see if we can squeeze in an alter two. We'll see if we can squeeze in an alter two. But let's talk about the major bear in the market, right? Which is still the crypto. It's in the bearish market just because we pumped up to, we pumped it from $8,200 to 19, just under 20k. So $800 is not a lot when you think about it in terms of what the grand spectrum of how price was reacting, what we're used to as well. I mean, now we're becoming more sensitized to a pump of $1,000, of $800, of $500, and that's a big thing now. But back in the days, right, in like last year, a pump of $1,000 was like, yo, that's just a Tuesday morning, that is, isn't it? Right, or that's just a Wednesday tea time. That's what it is. So we're now starting to understand the idea that price, right, although it pumps up like 1% or 2% or a very small number, fraction of price of what it was before, that we're becoming more and more adjusted to what's happening as well. But regardless of what the situation is, we are, it is October. We are above the monthly open. We'll talk about that in a moment. What can we look for? Bullishness. At the same time, what can we look for? Bearishness. Is this going to be the high? Are we going to go a lot more lower? We don't know, but we're going to start working out level to level idea. But the first things first, we need to start working out into dollar index and see what happens from dollar index. And can we see some sort of breakdown that's happening? If the breakdown's happening in dollar index, what happens in turn? It'll actually affect the stock market, like the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq. Why is that? Because it's becoming more of a risk on asset kind of thing in its own way. Gold is looking not so great in my opinion, but we're looking at dollar index, we can actually have an idea of where the direction is going to be. So if dollar index goes up, your stock market's going to go it's going to go down, and Bitcoin's going to go down along with your alts and Ethereum, and vice versa. If dollar index goes down, your stock market's going to go up, and also your crypto's going to go up. All right, that's the general gist of it. But let's just see what we got, what we can work with, and see what's going on. First, we give some shout out to everyone who's here. We've got Baronator, what's going on? Morning to you, my bro. AI, thank you, D, for all you share every day. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. We've got Ed in the house. Morning to you. Guna's in the house too. Half Hustle's here too as well. Good to see you too. David's in the house. Justin. We've got Final Country Club as always. Joel Fennell's here. What you saying, my bro? Trade with ND. How you doing, my bro? Hope everything's all right, man. We've got Get That in the house. Morning to you too as well, Mafia. Mafia. What you saying? It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm just chilling, man. Same shit every day, isn't it? John Kaboosh is in the house as well. And we got Marta's here. Missed you yesterday. I didn't see you yesterday, Marta. Maybe you actually catch the stream afterwards. But yeah, I didn't see you on the chat. So it's good to have you here as well. So, as always, smash the likes. Hit the likes button. It doesn't hurt anyone to actually hit the like button. And if you're new to the show, subscribe. If you want to actually check out what's going on before you hit the subscribe, I'll give you a reason why. Bitcoin's boring as fuck. This range ping pong, dude. You know what? You're saying that, Mafia. I'm loving it. It's literally a ping pong up and down, up and down. Just shorts and longs non-stop. But the thing is to remember when you're trading, you always have to remember that you can't just marry one bias. You can't just long, and you can't just short. You have to flip bias up and down as well. It is dollar index that's causing a bit of an issue. Dixie is causing the main issue where, as we know, with the whole global economics situation is happening. We had CPI yesterday. CPI came down compared to what was last month, by 0.1%. Not a big deal, but it's starting to show a bit of a cool off. But however, the main important factor we need to remember, the Fed has already said in the minutes meeting yesterday that they're still going to actually increase the interest rates, which means that we're not out of this mess yet. Which means if we're not out of this mess, what does that mean? How does that affect us? In crypto, if they're going to increase the Fed rates continuously for the next month, for the next couple of for this whole quarter, for example, and they did say they changed. Remember this. Don't forget this. They changed the idea of what a recession is. They said they changed the definition of recession is from 2 quarters to 4 quarters, which means a whole year. They're going to continually increase the rate for the next for this whole quarter, for the new quarter, the fourth quarter itself of this year. And then it only looks like in 2023, around January, they're going to have to say, you know what, we're in a fucking recession now. And that's when shit really hits the fan. That's when shit really starts. When they call it a recession, it's going to be a risk off. What I mean by risk off, people are not willing to risk their money into stocks. So the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq, they all start dropping. And what happens in turn with Bitcoin? We've already said when there's with whatever the stocks are doing, Bitcoin's going to follow through, which means Bitcoin's going to drop. So will it drop this quarter? Will it drop next quarter? We don't know. We're just going to work this out level to level. But in the meantime, we'll work this as it goes going forward. So let's just look at dollar index. Let's get right into it. So we're not wasting any more time. We got Mr. Wet Tesfi in the house. How's it going? Big boy can't boost BTC. Big boy is a bit of he's a donkey. We talked about donkeys yesterday. He's another donkey, man. Freaking donkeys. Big man's in the house too, man. What you say, big man? All right, cool. So dollar index, right? What is anything that's changed? Well, really and truly, right? So this is the range that we were playing in, right? This is like 3 weeks ago, Monday's range, and all we've done so far, we found resistance, broken down, right? All we've done, we've come back up and we've retested this area. Guys in the DCC knows what I'm talking about. You see this area of consolidation right over here? That's caused the problem. Okay, resistance, sell off. Resistance, bit of a bounce. Resistance, bit of a bounce. Come back up, takes the stop off over here, and then it sells off completely. I mean, was it going to fill out this void? The only way it was going to fill out this void if it was to reclaim this area here, and then we can come up into this next area here, into these area of consolidation over here at the top there, and then we have to assess what happens from there. Dollar pivot almost there, yeah, 100%. So now dollar index, right, at the same time we've come through to this inefficiency. Can you see this right now? Right now we're at this very inefficiency right there. So what is an inefficiency is the candle from the left hand side where there's a gap to the right hand side. There's just a clean smash through. This is what you call an inefficiency, or some people call it FEG, whichever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. So we've filled that. We're now filling out this inefficiency, which means that if it was going to be bearish, which tends to be the case, we're retesting this range low over here, looking for a breakdown. Once we come back down, lose this area, fill this out. Again, another set of inefficiency down on the downside. Lose this level there. Let's go back down to this trend line over here and see if we can squeeze into this 25% of the range, which comes in around about 110.8. Okay, and then see we come into this area. That's that low, and then we come into this area there. That's the next set of targets we're gonna have on the downside. We're taking out liquidity, which is all good, and it's looking like it's gonna be quite bearish. I mean, London seemed to be the high of the what was it, 8, 9. This is 10 o'clock. This is 2 hours. So it seems like London may have made the high of the day. So if we're right, we should start selling off now. All right. So the high of the week so far looks like this. As long as we don't reclaim the high of the week, we're good to go for the downside. The low of the week was this Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Oh, so we actually made the low of the week yesterday. So we're in this range between this area here. Actually, on the weekly, we're in this range here and here. That's where we're in, okay? In this weekly itself. So let's see how it goes there. It's still on the daily. We're still looking quite. It still looks bullish, right? Until we lose this low here, this market structure over here, this low over here. It's still a bullish market structure, right? Just like this. We didn't lose this low. Still a bullish market structure. On the daily, we're talking about. We didn't lose this low here. Still market structure. Bullish market structure. Again here, oops. Again, we didn't lose this low here. This low here, this low here. It's just showing like bullish market structure, right? It's just that's the key really is. The moment we start losing this low here, right? What happens is price comes back down and you're retesting this area, break down below here. Up we go. Let's go a lot more lower because why? That's the high. That's the lower low. That's the lower high. Let's make a fucking new thingy. Let's just make the market structure on the daily on the bearish side as well. So that's that, and we'll see what happens. Okay. ES, what's happening with ES? ES had a bit of a shockwave really actually. So where is that? It came back down into this area, as you can see on the daily, right? And I did say yesterday, if we close below here on the daily, right, then we're gonna find any resistance. We're gonna play it back down over here. But we didn't have a close. We had the CPI data that came out, and it made this massive ass wick. Takes out all the liquidity over here and liquidity over here, right? So it takes out this liquidity and it's closed above it, above the 2021 range low, sorry. So it's closed above there, and so that's a good sign on the daily. Let's have a look on the hourly. What's going on? Well, on the hourly, this range right, which was a Monday's range at the same time with the dollar index. It's the same daily range I'm used over here. That's the high and that's the low. That's the Monday's range that we got. I think it's about 3 weeks ago and whatnot. And you can see it's actually pivoting in this area quite nicely there. We've had a couple of deviations over here, deviation on the upside. This is another set of deviation. And I did say yesterday that if we step in, let me zoom into it. I said if we step into this range, right, and start breaking and reclaiming, we go to the mid range. From the mid range, we can start working at level to level, right? But look what happened here. Again, similar thing. We've got inefficiency right over here. Does it fill it out? We don't really know just yet. From here to there, this is all inefficiency. But at the same time, guys, in the DCC, we're going to talk about this afterwards, right? This is what an area that I'm looking for it to hold right here. So we've come up so there's two things. Number one, the first pullback is coming back into this range low here, into 2021's range low, right? So I don't mind, which comes in turn, I don't mind us range banding here, hold above it, bullish market structure. Let's go back up to this area, 25 mid range, and then squeeze it into the range high and see if we can fill out this inefficiency over here. We'll work that out as it comes, level to level. That's the first set. Or we have a deeper pullback, right? I want to see this block hold. This block in particular is going to hold. You see this? See how we found like this? We got resistance over here, and we smash above it. We come back into support. Now, if it was to be a thingy, if it's going to be bullish, I want to see us come back into here, right? A deeper pullback. The moment we step back into the range, right? Then you know that's the deviation done. Hard stop here. Play all the way back to range high, squeezing it into this area. And we can start taking out liquidity as we go on there. Okay, that's all it is with ES there. So we'll have to monitor that as we go along. Now, Bitcoin, the most important thing that everyone's really interested about. The pirates in the house, what's going on? Morningstar's here too, man. The cup and handle meme. Yeah, true actually. We got Jordan's in the house too. We got Hugh, we got Derry, Arcliano. We at Monday's high right now. That's true. We at Monday's high, so Monday's high's got to hold 100%. What's good, Carl? Hope you're doing well. GP's in the house too, man. Smash the likes, everybody, man. Show me some love. Really appreciate that. 1 second. How many likes do we have? 16. Come on, guys, man. What are you playing at? What are you playing at, man? Never mind. All right, so BTC. I'm going to show you a range of different charts, actually. Okay, the first one is this chart here. Okay, why am I showing you this chart here? You see this range over here. Let me show you on the 4 hours. I think it makes it a bit more clear. Actually, no, fuck it. It's on the daily. This is the first range, okay? So this is the range we were playing before we broke all-time high, right? Just catch yourself in 2020. This is 2 years ago. Some of you guys may have not been in crypto at that time, but just focus on this area. You see this? How this is a range bound environment here. So we got a low here and we got a high here, and you see how this mid-range holds support, and that mid-range catapults it back up, right? Catapult it back up and we break all-time high and we never retested it. We just keep going up, bullishness all the way through. Okay, cool, happy days. Now we'll drag a Fibonacci, go all the way across to where we are. This is fucking far away. Here we go. And all we're doing, right, can you see how price has respected that mid-range, just like it did back in freaking that way. Yeah, that way. Just like how it did back in in 2020. Same thing. Support, right? So it's holding support. So now we're at a range higher. So we've, from CPI data yesterday, we catapulted back down, take out the liquidity over here, happy days, right? Fine, let's go, and then we shoot back up. We're at the range high of this area. Where would I, if you want to start feeling comfortable in terms of longs, what would be the most confluential thing? Is a break above and hold, take out these highs, find out, so you see this high here. Let me just zoom into it, make it a bit more wider. You see this high here? In particular, that's capping the market. Right, that's capping the market, the whole thing, right? That high is resistance for 3 consecutive days before we set off and we come back down to take out this low over here, okay? So which means that if we come back up and hold above it and reclaim this area here, this is confirmation on the upside. Why? Because we're taking out these highs. If it was to be bearish, we would have actually come back down and then and break down. There's 2 different price action there. We've got one price action where it shows that it comes up, takes out the stops there, no problem, and then it finds resistance off this high. And then that shows us the first signal to go down for a short. And if you start breaking down into this 20k area, then we start breaking down and you find resistance. That's your confirmation, because we're back into this range over there. And your hard stop will be here. You're playing it back to mid-range itself, right? 25%, 75% the mid-range. That's the PA that you're looking for. The two sets of important PA. Bullish PA and the bearish PA. This is bearish. This is bullish. Can you see how different they are? One of them is showing higher highs, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low. This one is showing me a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. Market structure tells us everything that we need to actually to assess on taking a trade, whether we're going to be bullish or bearish. So obviously you'll be narrowing it down in a smaller time frame. And just to give you a shout out, tomorrow I'm going to do like an episode of I'm going to start doing a beginner's guide for for trading. So what I would like you guys to do, if you could, right, if you guys would comment some of the things that you would like back when you started in trading, cryptocurrency, whichever it may be, forex, whatever. What are the things that you would like to see? For example, risk management is one. We got understanding ranges, support and resistance. We got there's a bunch of stuff. So just please, you can't see. Yeah, I can't see price. Which price? Oh shit! The fucking. My bad, guys. Everybody didn't say shit, right? Until you guys were just gonna let this happen, like a fucking like yeah, Dank's a dumbass. You're gonna make me feel stupid like that. You guys are fucked up, you know. I thought you guys would be like, yo, Daink, so at the fucking price, I can't see shit. But you guys just left it happen. Is that better then? Sorry about that. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a little episode. I don't know if I should do it once a day or once a week kind of thing. But it's gonna be short videos. I want to make it like 15-20 minutes long, half an hour maximum kind of thing, just so people can actually get the general gist of it as well. Because I don't want to overpower you with too much things as well, because then it becomes too complex, right? Even like it has to be more of the everyday person, because as we know, crypto is becoming more and more common. You know, the everyday person's coming on. Like, let's just say, like, you know, like my mom ain't gonna know how to trade off the spot, so I have to dumb it down for like my mom can actually understand this. I'm gonna actually get my mom to watch the video. If she says to me that, yeah, I understand, I'm like, all right, I'm in a good point. But knowing her, she won't be happy. That's mom's for you. But that's the bearish. So anyway, let's get back to the work. This is a bearish play. This is a bearish play, and this is the bullish play. So if you want to get comfortable on longs, what you'll be looking for is once we hold above it, then we can shoot up into this area here. Once we come into this area and break above and hold above it, we can squeeze it up and see if we can take out these highs and play into this area over there. We'll see what happens there, but the first thing we need to focus on is this high and this area here. That's it. Let's not focus anything further. Let's keep it nice and simple, which means that we're looking at 21.5k ish to around 22.8k. Once we clear this out, right? Because you have to remember, same thing. Let me remove that. Same thing. Once we clear this out, right? Now we have to start worrying about this high. Is it a swing failure, or is it? If it's a swing failure, price will come up and it fails to swing it and it breaks down. Okay, that's bearish. If it's a swing, a stop run, price comes up, breaks down, finds resistance of the high, and it breaks down, and then it shows bearishness. That's bearishness again. If it was to show bullishness, we'd have to climb up and hold support, reclaim this area, right? Bullishness, bullishness, off we go. Let's go to the next level. That's it. Simple as that. Then we can start looking at 24k, 24.3k. But we can't really look at 24.3k. We're keeping this area here first. But the first things first, before we even get to that area, is what's going to happen here at this range high here. We don't fucking know. We're going to work this out level to level using different charts there. Okay. Second chart. Right. As you can see right here, this is the most beautiful range I've seen in a very long time as well. Really, really clean. I'm going to make this nice and easy for you guys there in the 4 hours. Right, let's just highlight this, take this away there, and I just want to cast your mind on this, right? So we got, where's that? There we go. Okay, cool. So we got this low here on the 19th of September. That was the low that was made, and the 19th of September that was the high that was made. This is 4 weeks ago, right? Monday's range 4 weeks ago, and we're still playing this. You see how this is support, resistance, sorry, support, deviation, resistance, deviation, and again we find a deviation over here, and that's support. This already narrowing it down from that range that we did on the last chart is still showing us there's a bit of bearishness here, which still comes into the fact that what's capping the market. This has been the range that we've been playing for a whole week. What's capping the market? Well, is this. See this area here, this area of consolidation right over there. That's the thing that's actually causing the problem here. So if you were to long from the range low, you'd be looking for the mid range to range high. Extended targets will be here. That's the extended targets there. And that's what's happened there. And what's happened now on the 4 hours, we closed into that range. Now, if we break down, right, shows bearishness, lose the slow over here, then we're going to come back down into potentially this area there. And then from this area, we'll see what happens. Do we hold above it and carry on going up higher as a retest and reclaim? We don't know just yet. Or do we actually lose the slow and come back into this area over here? So that's what we're looking at. So there's a couple of areas there. We're not out of the waters yet. We had a fast fucking move up there. I'm not a fan of these fast moves up. When I see these fast moves up, it means to me that we're going to go back down. We've seen it happening here. Look, a fast move up, we go back down. Right? And a fast move up, come back down. Grind all the way back down. I mean, I can show you loads of examples in the bear market, but it doesn't change. So we have to work out level to level. So now let's just bring our ranges. What do we have? Let me delete this shit here. Now we can make some plans. We can make some plans in terms of how we're going to play this. Why? Because we're going to use Monday's range. That's another thing I'm going to talk about. Monday's range is actually quite important in that stream as well. So look. Deviation, liquidity, ranges, risk management, etc. Yeah, appreciate that, Gar. Really appreciate that, man. I messaged you on Twitter. Hard stops against when to cut the tree. Yeah, I saw the thing. I saw that, Jordan. Thank you so much for that. That's all noted down. So today I'm gonna make some plans on which I don't know which. I'm feeling like the first video would be on about how to set up trading view. You know, like the charts, the style that I use. I think a lot of people ask me that. Oh, how do I make my candles black and white? That kind of stuff. Understanding what the charts are. What are these levels? What does this mean? What did this mean? And like what the candle represents. Keep it nice and simple, as like for the everyday person can actually tend to understand. But that's it. Yo, let me make you moderator. Yeah, 1 second, bro. Good point, actually. I can't believe I haven't done that for you. 1 second, champ. Cool. Ed, you're now moderator, bro. Alright then. Yo, it's on YouTube. All I'm seeing is Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira, man. Who do you guys think is gonna win? Charles or Thingy or Islam? Because I'm a Muslim, I have to say Islam. But nah, I do think Islam's gonna win though. I think he's gonna fuck him up, man. Straight up, I think like Islam's it's gonna wreck him like a motherfucker. Yeah, he finally got the trust, isn't he? Didn't trust that guy for a long time, innit? Right? So a guy's named Ed and Eddie. You don't know, man. You just don't know. I'm messing. I got love for the geezer. So, so we got certain levels that we need to worry about. Right, number one, got Monday's high. Right, so we've got Monday's high, and as you can see, that's the high. Liquidity was taken on Tuesday, right? And then what happened was yesterday, we shunked down, and this is just all a deviation. And once we step back into it, it was a quick move up to the mid-range, then like, you know, we start bouncing off this area. I was kind of hoping for a pullback into this area here. 1 minute, let me just try to do it on the 1 hour. I don't know why I've got them here. There we go. So I was looking for a pullback into this area here, right? At first, I wanted like some sort of pullback into this area, into this little area here, come back in, right? And then play it back down, hold it as support, reclaim the mid-range. That's the deviation of the mid-range. That's it. My stop loss can be here. And I'm playing it all the way back up to 25% range and then range high. That's what I was looking for. Didn't it come? No worries. I cut the trade. I was into the trade quite late. I mean, there's such a fast move up there. I kind of rode the continuation phase as it is anyway. And I cut most of it just around the monthly open. As you can see, that was acting as resistance, right? So that's the plan that I was looking for. But never mind. It doesn't happen. It is what it is. Let's see what happened now. So now we're at Monday's high. We just come out Monday's high. We haven't retested completely. But why? It doesn't have to, because you see this high over here. That's where that's where you can see support. Support here once, support here twice. Done. So now what we want to see this area here, this 19.7k, which is the 19th of September range high, that Monday that we're talking about. I want to see us, right? If we are going to be thinking bullish, right? I want to see us reclaim and hold above it, start making higher highs, and let's keep going, right? That's what I want to see. Something like this will be enough for me to say, yeah, let's go. Where would I be comfortable to take a trade for the extremity? Is that is this? So you see this area here, that of consolidation, right around here. This area of consolidation. That's the area of consolidation that's actually caused a bit of a problem. This is the resistance there. Sell off. I'll be comfortable to enter in for a long. This is my confirmation over here. This will be my confirmation, and then here, if you want to go a little bit more further and you play it back up to the next set of targets, which we said 21.7k. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So at the same, it should be on this fucking level actually. I don't have it here. Give me a second. Don't know why I deleted that. Monthly. You know what? I'm gonna have to draw this out later in terms of just fucking having lines, because doing this Fibonacci, there's a lot of Fibonacci's around the fucking place, isn't it? Okay, that's the monthly range there. No, is that it? 21.7. Yep, that's it. So when is it this is July? Yeah, July's range. That's right. So back on the monthly, and then, well, like I said, once we reclaim this area here, just reclaim it. This area, this area of consolidation, you can see. Let's just get all this data right here. You see that all this consolidation right here. That's where that's where this area of consolidation has caused us resistance. Once we reclaim and hold above it, this is showing me bullishness to play back up, right? And once we reclaim 25% of the range, right? This is for me, I can enter in. Once we reclaim the 25% range, you know, you want to go back up to this 21.7k. Why 21.7k? Well, we've got this inefficiency to fill out, and we're playing it range to range, right? So if we're playing it from low to high, right? Before we actually get, oh, that's not even high, that's 75% range. If we get to, I think when we play a range bound environment, what you're doing is you're playing it level to level. So which means you're playing it from low to mid, mid to high, high to mid, mid to low. That's all it is, right? It's just zig, zag, zig, zag. That's all it is. Sometimes it comes up and it can break down. If it breaks down, you cut the trade. You play it back down, no problem. So just like it did over here. So that's what we're looking for. 21.7k once we reclaim that 20.2k. And then, you know, that's the next set of targets there. Now, looking at this, right, on the 1 hour, right, what can we say? And that's the bullishness, right? That we've held above there. Ideally, I'd say this area here. You see this area here? This block itself, you can see that quite carefully there. This was the consolidation over here. Resistance, come back up, resistance, and now we've actually shanked above it. And the fact that we've shanked above it, it shows me some bullishness, and we're holding in that block there. So it's happy days, no problem. And for me to get more of a tighter one is over here, enter in. Once I get this kind of bullish price action above this block, and then let's go up, as discussed before. Okay, so that's the bullish play. Bearish play, right, is this now, right? What is the bearish play? If we find resistance off this range high, we come up, breaks down, you see we start making lower lows, lower highs, and it shows us bearishness. We play it back to the monthly open. The confirmation for us to go a lot more lower is once we step back into the monthly open, especially break down below the monthly the Monday side, especially get down below monthly open, then we can start playing it back into the mid range, fill out this inefficiency right there, and then see if we can squeeze all the way to the 25% of range, and then range high. That's all it is, simple as that. That's all we're looking for. Do we actually find resistance of this area here, which is at a key vital point? Are we finding resistance here, or are we not? So if I were to keep it as a nice clean chart, right, and use the same range, the same data that I just showed you, that box there, let me show you. So you see this area here, right? If we come back down, find resistance, break down, bearish market structure, take out this liquidity, fill out this inefficiency, target 1, I'd say would have to be, then we can come into this area there. That's that there. That's your first target. That's your second target. And then if we lose this area here, then we come back into the next SR, which will be around here, right? Which is about approximately Monday's low. Actually, I think that was Monday's low. And then that's it. And that's the target done. And if we end up losing this area here, then okay, let's just squeeze it down, fill out all this inefficiency off, and squeeze into this area here. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm not saying I'm bearish, I'm short in the market. I'm just saying this is the plans for me to actually keep an eye on of how I'm going to play this, playing it further as a continuation. Because you know how price was a continuation of this? See how price was a bearish market structure? High, lower low, lower 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 high, lower low. And then we break market structure, we take breaking out these highs. So this should be a bullish phase. So if we can have an extreme pullback into this area. If we find support of this area, then I'll cut the rest of the trade and I'll play the fucking long. Because not only did we fill out the inefficiencies that we talked about, we're going to play it back up into the block that we talked about right off this consolidation there. and then we see if we hold above it, let's fucking go. 21.7k is on the fucking table. All right, does everyone understand that? What's happened? Who's Charles? What's going on? I'm missing out quite a few things. Is July's so Hugh asks, is July's range relevant as of now, or is it the better range to follow, not for the lower time frame? July's range, right? It's a macro range, right? We're finding support. So let me just show you this. Let's just break this down. I like that when people ask questions, right? And wants a bit of an understanding. I can work with that. So let's just focus on July's low. So July's low was this one here, all right? This is July's low. Can you see how that low has actually held? That's the low, and the high was this high here. This is a range bound environment, okay? Between this high and low, we've got a mid-range, which is about 21.7, probably around here. That's where the mid-range is. So we can focus between this high, this mid-range, to range low. Why can we say why we still focus on July's low? Because this is all support, deviation, support. It has held a support. As long as it holds support, you wouldn't want to short. You wouldn't want to short support. So we know on a macro scale, right? On a monthly scale, that is the higher time frame basis, which is giving us some sort of the hypothesis that we're going to go up higher, right? If we start losing July's low, then you get the flip bias to play it back down to shorts. I wouldn't be start shorting over here, right? Like let's say for example, from when we got out to here, I wouldn't start shorting it to looking for 15, 12k like those donkeys we're talking about. We talked about donkeys yesterday. We've got two sets of donkeys. We've got the bullish donkeys and the bearish donkeys. Fuck knows what they're on. I don't even know what they're drinking these days, right? I'm gonna get some water, man. I'm thirsty as fuck. Ah, motherfucker. 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I should have filled this one out. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. My throat was really fucking dry. I think I'm coming down with a bit of a flu. So, like, it's all croaky and shit. Anyway, yeah. So what we're talking about is July's low, right? So there's two types of donkeys. You got the bullish donkeys and the bearish donkeys. Now the bullish donkeys are talking about all-time high, right? Like it's time to buy. Okay, no problem. You keep buying from 60k. Keep buying at 50, 40, 30k, right? You're still buying, no problem. I don't know what you're buying. I don't think you got any money for you to buy, but you're just a donkey. Then you got the bearish donkeys, right? Who are saying we're gonna go to 10k, if 5k, 8k, whatever the numbers they've been saying, right? But listen, we gotta work this level to level, man. When you're trading, right? Someone who's a real trader won't start saying 12k, 10k, won't be calling it out. Won't be calling 10k, all these numbers right now. Let it set up for this bearish market structure, and then we can start saying where's the next level. You have to work this level to level, because before we get to 10k or 12k, there are certain levels we need to worry about. For example, right off the chart, this is a level. This is a low that we're gonna have to find some sort of reaction. Why? Let me just take this out. This is June's low, so we could potentially swing June's low, come back up, reclaim June's low, and still reclaim July's low, and play back up to here. That's a very possible play. Are you still gonna call for 10k? No, you wouldn't. I mean, I would like to buy Bitcoin at 10k. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to do that. However, I can't be saying 10k is on the table until we start losing this low. Once we lose this low, and then we start seeing where's the next level. Well, where is the next level, my friend? Let's have a look. If you go down on let's just zoom out. Then we start seeing that there's some more places for liquidity. This is another level right off this low. Once we take out this low, right, we can still be range bound in this environment between that low to this high. Can you see what's the next, how this all changes? Your perspective starts to change, because at the moment, all this is a deviation, another deviation, and we've had So far, it looks like a resistance on the upside. So we can't say we're bullish yet. We can't say we're bearish yet. There's key levels we need to keep an eye on. We have to keep an eye on these levels there. Because if we start breaking down over here, then we can come back into this area here and still do this price action to play back into the mid-range and possibly to range high and reclaim July's low. Now, the reason why I use July's low, let me break this down there for you. On the monthly, look at this. You see July's range itself, right? This candle in particular, right? It has a massive significance. It shows me the place where price is ranging. This low holds support for 1 month, looking to hold support for the second month. This high is finding resistance off that 1 month, which means that price is range banding in this area here. Until we break above it on the upside, we have to focus on this. Until we break below on the downside, we still have to focus on this area, which means July's range is really, really important, because we could actually range band in this area for fucking God knows how long, till like the next bull run. We could do this for the next bull run all the way to 2024. You know, play around. We could literally do this, go back up, do a spike up, does this, breaking market structure on the downside, play back down, spike down, do this. We could do that. This is the main range that I believe that's going to happen. The reason why, let's cast back to 2017. In 2017, we made a particular range that happened, I believe it was in March. Was it March? February range. Look at this low here. Look at this low. Look at this high here. Look how that's worked out perfectly. Like, you can't make this shit up. This was the range band environment. We've played within this range all that time, and yeah, we're making lower highs all the way down, no problem. And then we do a deviation. We deviate it, we come back into the range, and what happened? We found resistance off this particular high, which means price was range banding in this area. We found a support in March 2020, I think the COVID high, and then we start finding resistance here. And then once we break above it, that was it. Bullish market structure, off we go. Because not only did we take out this high, it's starting to show us that there's bullishness in the market. Once we take out all-time high, off we go. That's it. It was over. So it's the same. I believe we have the same principle that could happen right over here. I don't see why not. I can think, like, if this is the case, if this is going to be the case, that we're going to play in this case for the next year or 2 years or whatever, happy days, let it do its thing. Whatever it does, if you bounce into this area, into 13, 12, 14k, I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit. But reclaim this area, I can still play it within this area of a ping pong area. Does that make sense? So until we lose that low, right? So once you lose this low for here on the daily, right? Then you start looking for the next level. So the next level will be off this, for example. Let me show you. It's becoming a bit of a lesson, isn't it? So you start working out these highs, right? So we know we got July's low, and we got this high over here. We got this high over here, and then we got this high, and then we got this high. You work it all from level to level. If we lose this low on the daily, find resistance, break down, confirmation is this here once we lose this low here, because that's a breaking market. The market is still bearish, but it becomes a lower high. Then we're looking to fill out this inefficiency over here to fill out right into 14k. Once we get underneath 14k, we've got another inefficiency right in this area here. We play back to 13, 12, 12.5k, and then we squeeze it to 12k, and we see what happens in this area. So there's certain things that can happen, right? Because we could potentially do this, come back into this area, reclaim, and then still play in this range here, which was similar to this deviation there, to what happened to this deviation over here. Does that make sense? So we're not macro bullish yet. I mean, we're not mega bullish yet. We're not mega bearish yet. We're just playing whatever the time frame is, which is why understanding lower time frame play, there's so much money to be made. Some of the guys in the country club have been killing it, man. I mean, Cruz is killing it, Yuri's killing it, Caboose is killing it, Pirate's fucking just a killer anyway on her own. We got Ed killing it. We got a bunch of people just killing. David's fucking on a fucking spree at the moment. I don't know what's going on with the guy. He's like fucking got a machine gun on Christmas Day, just shooting every fucking trade that he can get now. So shout out to David for that as well. Really, really pleased to hear that as well. But yeah, let's see. Be good to see Charles win. Oh, well, King Charles. What are you talking about? Thomas saying, for the beginner video, best platforms were to trade. Difference between margin and spot. Many beginners don't understand that. Understand what is leverage trading. Many burn their account. Good point. I really appreciate that. I think spending Monday's range would help a beginner to find some orientation. Would be very helpful, 100%. Adam is in the house. What's going on, Adam? Good to have you here again as well. Thomas is saying, explain the difference if you invest money long-term, swing trade, or day trading, scalping. Some beginners just want to start investing little, and a lot try to scalp without knowledge. True. scalping is not fucking easy. Like, you guys see me scalp on the 15 seconds, on the 1 minute, 5 minute chart, stuff like that. And I post them here and there. I don't like, there's a lot of scalps I do. I don't really post them. I don't really make them out known too much. It's because like people think it's very easy to do and they want to do it. Right? I get it. Everyone wants to be a scalper. Everyone wants to make money on a daily basis, like 20 trades one after another. But it does take much practice. Right? What you see from me is 5 years in the making. That's 5 fucking years I put into this craft. So you can't expect everything to happen in one go, right? So for beginners, ranges as well. Ranges are important, which can help you give orientation. I love Thomas. Thomas is actually on the fucking roll here. Can anyone can jump into trading and throw orders around? All right, cool. Yo, Joe, what's going on? Good to have you here as well. Donkeys in it. Vitalik can trade Daink. I do appreciate that. That's true. Thomas is saying it right with the DCC and the YouTube videos. Because look, the YouTube videos, obviously, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to give you all the ins and outs. Right? If you're thinking that it's going to give you all the ins and out, that's not the case, right? That's not that. The DCC will give you the ins and out. That's where we have very in-depth lessons there. The guys understand what I'm talking about. A lot more explanation there, and there's more more sessions with me that you guys can actually explain and ask me questions, blah blah blah. But when it comes to the YouTube itself, I want to make it into more of a beginner's guide. So even like yourself, right? Like even if you trade on a daily basis, you may pick a few things that you've forgotten. You know, like it's really easy to forget a few things. It happens, but like it's quite beneficial for everyone, and it's more of a guide to set them up. You know, because when I was in 2017, we didn't have 2018. We didn't really have the guide that like, I want to set a guide for people that can use for the next 5 years of their life until someone makes a better version of it or whatnot, or even the next year or 2 years. But at least there's something there that people can refer to and actually understand, okay, this is what a range is. This is what a deviation is. Okay, so we're looking on a Monday. What's so important about Monday? Okay, so this is why Monday's range is important. Oh, so the monthly has this. Oh, so the quarterly has this. The yearly has this reason. So they can, so already off the bat, when they enter crypto in the bull run in 2024, 2025, you're not going to get fucked. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get fucked, right? We've all been fucked. We've all been in that position. I don't know anybody here who, including myself, I've been fucked in 2017, 2018 really, but we're not gonna get fucked, and that's the thing is we want winners. We only want winners, okay? So that's the idea behind it. Be careful not to follow. But yeah, that's a good one. So Tom, fam, you need to fucking start chatting a bit more, man. You really are killing it. Maybe that would be more important for a beginner as well. Be careful not to follow bad and misleading accounts on Twitter, YouTube. Many scams out there. That's what we call it, donkeys. You know what I'm saying? Can September range be of any interest at the moment? Well, look, September's range, you can use September's range. Right? You can use last month's range. It's not a problem because which means, right? Liquid. Well, let's have a look. The low. Did we take out the low? I think we did. 18,131, 18,1513. Yeah, 18,153. That's fine. So we're taking out the low here. So you can use last month's low. No problem. There's no issues at all. There really isn't an issue at all in terms of doing that. What you're looking for when you're using last month's range, you start hunting for liquidity. But look where the price has come up to. Let me delete this. Bang on, smack the motherfucker right into the mid range. You just can't make it up. So again, 20.477, which is a higher price compared to 22.22. Reclaim this area, go back into 21.7. But then we know this is this area 21.6, 21.7 is the mid range of the July's range. So we're gonna have to find some reaction there, which means when we have a reaction, it's gonna pull back. Right? If we hold above this area here, reclaim this, let's take out 22.8k, and we can take out liquidity. Once we take out liquidity, we'll see what happens. Because if we take out liquidity, then our next focus have to be, right? Yes, we can start looking at for liquidity in August's high, but we have to see how we react after July's high. Because if price comes up, holds up, comes into July's high, and starts breaking down, and we leave this liquidity over here, well, it's time to short the motherfucker back down. So you can use that. What I do, I have 3 different charts on Bitcoin. One Bitcoin chart has like 3 different sets of views, and it's always good to actually like click back and forth to see what's going on, right? So you can always like you're not marrying your bias, because sometimes on a higher time frame chart you see, oh, it's bullish, but on the lower time frame chart it's bearish. You're like, ah, shit, you know. Then you're just playing it level to level. Does that make sense? Thank you so much for that, Daink Country Club. Yeah, so help out YouTube to grow, share your love. Thank you so much for that. Smash the likes, everybody, man. Regarding the day trade, looking like if we hold Monday's high, which it has wicked off, and it gets above the current next high, liquidity would be 29. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe that's what's going to happen. I just explained that like in probably about 10-15 minutes ago. So the plans for the Bitcoins was already there. Yeah, smash the likes, everybody, man. Come on, man. Thank you for that, Ed. What's going on, Mr. M? How you doing? Why don't give me a stat? Don't worry about it, bro. Like, look, we're always gonna be here, my bro. Tom saying maybe you can do it like that in the free YouTube videos, start explaining the very basic, but let them know that in the DCC you can explain everything in detail so you can get something back. Yeah, that's good marketing right there, to be honest. 100%. 100%. We can definitely do something like that. Guys, we have homework over the block. Bro, don't say everything so loud, bro. Yeah, but that's true. We got homework though, so you guys got to get cracking on your homework, and then we'll go from there. Appreciate that, Ed. Thank you so much for that time as well. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you, Jordan. Fucking episode 10. Damn, boy. You know what? Shout out to Jordan, man. Jordan, the fucking man. The man behind the hour. Man behind the screen. What the fuck, man? I appreciate that, man. You know what it is? Like, sometimes I forget that I have some sort of impact on people in it. That there are a number of people that actually watch me from the very early days. It's like this geezer that I met called Crypto Rasengan. He kept DMing me and he wanted to meet, and you know how influencers don't tend to want to meet people. They're like your everyday Joe kind of thing. And so the geezer, like, I was in contact with the guy, and I when you show me love, I show you love. I always respect you guys, and I always respond to all your comments. I try to do even if it's just a heart, it just shows you I'm acknowledging who you are. I acknowledge you, and I respect your opinion or your views or anything that you have to say, whether it's good or bad. I respect that. So so I've always had a lot of love for that. And like Crypto Rasengan, like one day I met him as well. Like after so long, after like many months, I was like, you know what? Let's fuck it. Let's just meet, right? I'm like, he was down in Birmingham. I went to go meet him. We had something to eat and whatnot. And the geezer was quoting me some tweets that I did back in fucking 2020, 2021. And I'm like, oh shit, I completely forgot about that. And it just made me realize, like, he humbled me so quickly. It's like, yo, whatever I do, whatever I say will have an impact on people. And like, I never really wanted or never asked to be an influencer. I never asked to be in this like, I never begged to be in a platform like this or whatever. I just worked, and it just unraveled itself, which is why I was telling you guys yesterday to build your Twitter account. It's really useful for you guys as well. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart to all of you guys, thank you so much for that, for all your support, for all the time that you've given me as well. It doesn't go unnoticed. I promise you that it doesn't go unnoticed. But yeah, let's get cracking. Ethereum. What's Ethereum saying, right? So Ethereum, we know this is the quarterly range. I mean, we're below the quarterly range. Nothing too bullish yet. Until we step into this quarterly range and hold above it, then we can start saying, yeah, 2,400, then 3K and whatever. But we're not there. So which means we got some areas. Remember we talked about areas? This is the monthly, okay? The first area that we're going to worry about is this high here, which is at 1440. That's the first area there. The second area here, which is this area here, which is 1700. So we got two macro levels to worry about, but we haven't even got above it. So which means if I were to delete some of this shit here, which means if I were to actually get back above the 1440, then we can start looking at 1700. That's what we can look for. That's number one. Okay, that's one way we're looking at this, right? So if we were to narrow, let me see which chart I've got. Yeah. So we start to narrow it down, right? Let's go on the monthly. I've got a range band environment similar to Bitcoin. July's rate is capping the market. As you can see, that's holding support, right? Let me just hide this shit. As you can see, July's high is capping the market on the upside. Yeah. And July's low is capping the market. We found resistance. We'll come down. Do we come back down for support and hold above it and keep on range banding? Yeah, I don't know. But one thing we do know for certain is that we're below the mid range. So if we come back up to the mid range, which comes in around 13, let's go to 1398, 1400, I think in the 1400 marker, which comes to that previous all-time high, which is at 1440. I believe it's 1440. 1420 on this chart, on this Coinbase chart. So which comes into previous all-time high. If it comes into previous all-time high and we find resistance, what happens? comes into this area, breakdown. We're going to play it back down to 25% range, take out liquidity, lose this low. Let's take out liquidity of July's low. That's what we're doing. So far, we can see it already, which is now showing us some sort of bullishness. If I hide this out, you see what happened yesterday. We've taken out, I think, in last month's liquidity low, and we closed into that, close above. So now we're showing bullishness to come where? Into this area there, which then comes into sight that there are bullish plays coming up, and if we reclaim and hold above it, then we can start saying this, well, this high is the same as this high over here. And then once we get up to there, we'll see what happens. Do we break down and show bearishness, or do we actually break up and show bullishness to go a lot more high? We don't know, all right? So this is just the gist of it. Now, let's just bring this down. Let's narrow this down on the daily, right? Where we find resistance off the monthly open. We've come up, we've taken out liquidity on the downside on Mondays. So can you see here, right? See this black line here? Let me put some girth into it, some thickness to it. This black line here, we take out Monday's liquidity, shine back down to 25% range, and then what happens when we shoot back up on this day? This is a fucking strong ass motherfucking day. I ain't gonna lie to you. Very, very clean, very easy to play. And then where do we go to? Monday's high, take out liquidity, and we're finding resistance on monthly open. So, which means we are in an area of resistance. We're below the monthly open. Number one, we've got this range over here, similar to Bitcoin. Nothing's changed. The high, the low, mid range. Look at all this fucking resistance, all this, and then deviation, resistance. It's resistance. So now let's make some plans now. So now we have an understanding of what we're facing. Before we get to this 1440 level, 1400 area level, let's work out what's going on. So if we go to the 1 hour, how the price is doing. Okay, then we go to 15 minutes. I think I can narrow this down and probably find a short here. You see this? Okay. Taking out Monday's high, come back down, we'll close again. Find resistance, choppy over here, resistance. Okay, which means this is actually a shorting story in my opinion. Right, let's talk about the shorting scenario here. So that's that. Now, as long as we find resistance here, what does that mean? We're going to play it back to the mid range, right? And then you can put a stop loss over here, put it in validation of over the high over there, and we're playing it back down to the mid range. But the first thing, if you want to look for confirmation how to narrow this trade down, right, is one thing. You see this low here? Yeah, this low itself, that's holding support there. So we can actually come back up, find resistance, break down below the mid range. I would have probably entered here with a stop loss above there, because this is above Monday's high anyway. Play back down to this low over here. Once we find this low, there's going to be a reaction. We're going to find some support there. If you come to 25% and break down below here to the mid range, that's my next set of targets there. Break below the mid range, fill out this inefficiency right over here, and we can squeeze to this 25% range. September, and then but let's focus on fucking thingy, Monday's range. Play it back down to 25% range of 1300 area, and you see how we got this high over here. We could come up and find support. If we find support and hold above it, I'll cut the trade. We'll come back to the mid range to see how we react there. But if we start losing this level, come back all the way down to the range low, and I'll see us having some sort of reaction off this consolidation over here. Guys in the DCC, pay attention. This consolidation, we talked about this yesterday. If you haven't watched the video, watch it yesterday, okay? And you should pick out what I'm talking about, the consolidation, what candles in particular that we're looking for as well. And then once we hold above it, right? So if we were to play it for shorts, right? And then reclaims this area, shows bullish market structure, that is my entry. Off we go, play it back up to mid-range, back in it, and play the range high until we lose this level. That's what it is, simple, short and simple, nothing else. Take care, pirate. See you soon. And that's how the game is going to play. Now, if I want to play for bullishness, how do I play bullishness? Now, let's go on the 1 hour. We know we are at this mid-range here. This mid-range, this blue box, and we also know at the same time, this Monday's high is causing an issue there. It's fucking breaking fucking the balls off, and it doesn't want to do any further, right? That's right, Crypto. Thank you so much for that. Walaikum salam, Muziki. So basically, what Cryptique said, I'll explain to you. So if you go on the left hand side, right, you see like, you know, the arrow. Look for Fibonacci retracement, right? Once you get Fibonacci retracement, drag it, double click on it, and all you gotta do is go to on styles, enter these numbers in 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. That's it, and that's my Fibonacci, and that's how I play my level to level play. Okay, there will be a YouTube video on that as well. So. For the beginning series, please mention about following Dixie ES but trading half crypto only, not trying to cover. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point, Jordan. Because you know what, it's like a lot of people want to, you know, look at 15, 20 different coins, but they get fucked over because it's too much to handle. Even I don't look at 15 coins. I look probably like 3 to 5 coins and just focus on that. You know, I don't need to look at so many coins. Oh, by the way, the sushi, did anyone take the sushi short? That, I mean, that killed it, you know, that's a very, very clean short that was. But obviously it was long, and as we know. Anyway, so bullish play. How do we play the bullish play? We know this is a bit of a factor over here. This is causing a bit of a ball ache. So how do we play this, okay? Now, let it do its thing, right? Whatever chop it does, remember we said this low here, we get this bounce over here, whatever. Let the fuck it wants to do. The moment we climb above and hold above Monday's high, shows bullish market structure, you can have entered here. This is your confirmation. And then we're going to play it back to 25% of the range, which is around 1365, I believe. 64. And then from there, squeeze it all the way to 1390. And that's the range high. Once we get to 1390, I expect some area of consolidation or some resistance over here. Look over here. Just like we found over here was resistance over here. I'll probably take some profits over here. I have to take some profits at the base of it. And then look to here. And then look at 1440. And that's it. Keep it simple, short and simple. Because if we hit 1400 level, right, this mid-range, look how we found resistance there. Look how we found resistance there. So until we break above and hold above it, right? If we do something like that, then we can start looking for higher prices into these areas there. That's what we're looking for. But in the meantime, we need to play this as a range band environment. And that's all it is. Keep it nice and simple, nothing too complicated. Does that make sense for everyone? Now, the monthly open is also key. I'm going to do one more thing, right? No, I think that's it pretty much. Yes, the monthly open is the key. So we have to reclaim the monthly open. Once we reclaim the monthly open, happy days, we can say, yeah, there's bullishness. If we do something like that, then that's your key to go up high. And whatever the deviation is, you can put your stop loss there, play it level to level into this area there, squeeze above that. Let's fucking keep going and we'll see what's next there. And that's all it is. Any questions, guys? That's pretty much the gist of today. What we're looking for Bitcoin, what we're looking at Ethereum, what we're looking at dollar index. How's dollar index doing? Yeah, here we go. Remember I said inefficiency? Remember I said that? 15 minutes. Have a look at this. Right? I showed it to you. I remember I had it. On the 1 hour. There, yeah, that was it. Remember I said the inefficiency right here, this low. What happened? Found resistance. Breakdown. Let's fucking go into this area there. Once we lose this low, take out the liquidity there. Then we go to the next set of targets there, looking for this area here. That's what we're looking for. It's all working. It's just the price says something. You know, it's like fucking. You know, when you're seeing the price do this movement, you're just following the price movement, and with understanding of market structure, understanding how support and resistances are, blocks, and all the other bits and bobs that come together. When you understand all that together, you can start predicting the move that's going to happen. You may be wrong, right? But you're predicting the move, and once you get those predictions correct, then you're like, all right, cool. What we're looking for next for me to enter this trade, and that's all it is. Nothing else. So we'll see. We should start breaking down. I want to see us start breaking down and go a lot more lower now. All right, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. Any questions, though? Where's my phone? There. Markets come in only to liquidate shorts. What is probability if it comes down to 1300? Well, we don't know. I mean, the plan was already there, Parveen. I mean, 1300 is just a. I already showed the bearish plan on 1300s. So just rewind back. So like I said, once we lose this low, if we do lose this low over here, find resistance, then it will come down to 1300. But in the meantime, on the lower on the time frame that we're seeing bullish market structure. This is a breaking market structure. So we are now forming higher highs and higher lows now. So we're looking for where's the higher low is. The higher low could be at 1300, and then do something like this, and then break up and go up higher. And that would be the higher high, and that would be the higher low, and this would be the higher high, and then we come back down and do something like that. That's what it is. 1320 is resistance, right? Oh, no. What are you talking about? How is 1320 resistance? Because of the monthly open. That's 1328. It's different for everyone else. It's resistance, right, for the monthly, but we still have to look at lower time frame, and we could smash above it. Look where we are right now. We're above it. So, like I said to you, our key that we need to see for us to get lower, we can't just start looking for shorts just yet and looking for longs just yet, right? You need to see how this block, this area here works. Look where if we get back above it and hold above it, then that's it. It's going up, going down. If we get down below here, we're going to look at this area here, see how we react off there. If we hold and bounce off that, lose this area, then yeah, fine, let's do 1330. But it's all plans. We're just monitoring how the price works. And once we get our setup on the right side, I'm not taking any setup just yet. I'm just waiting to see what happens, right? Because it is a Jummah today as well. It's a Friday, so I'm gonna have to head off for Friday prayers. But 1320 is resistance. No, look what's happening right now. Lower time frame is showing there's a push up in the market right there, about 1334. So where is the resistance really to me is this here, 1338. You know, Monday's high. That's if we come up to here, find resistance, and yeah, fine, let's fucking do this then. Come back below the monthly open, short the motherfucker, stop loss over here. Let's fucking go. Does that make a bit of sense there for you, Parveen? All right, cool. We'll call it a day. We have reached an hour, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Yeah, actually, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll think of a time and whatnot, and then I'll post it on Twitter for like a beginner's guide for everyone else to trade as well. Okay, so catch you guys then. Take care. Big love, guys. See you soon.